All right, thank you for coming today to our press conference with Liberty Bluejay football. We are coming off a loss last week in our homecoming game. We lost 42-43 to St. Joe Central. It's a game where our kids played really hard and came up short at the end. St. Joe Central scored on a 2-point conversion with 40 seconds to go in the game, and we were unable to get the ball back and get down the field for a chance at either a field goal or a touchdown as time ran out. So all in all with the game, like I said, we felt like our kids played really well. We made mistakes early that put us into a hole. Had a snap that was bobbled that gave them a touchdown or set up a touchdown, and then also a 4th down conversion we didn't get that did as well, and in a kickoff return. So good team like that we played with talented players. If you give them 21 points in the first half, it usually comes back to haunt you. In this case, that it did. There were parts of our game we felt good about, and running the ball was one of them. Robert Rowley had 270 yards rushing, continues to run the ball very effectively, and that's not just him. That's our entire 11 that are out there doing that. Had some big catches in the second half. Xavier Hinkle, Nick Kern continue to be offensive threats on that side of the football, and we were able to just get some things done, and that on offensively that we felt 3 quarters of the game we played pretty well. Special teams wise, had a big blocked punt that Caden Bale returned as a touchdown. He's a sophomore running back and corner. Made a big play there and got us rolling in the second half. The game was highlighted, I think, by the atmosphere at our school. Had an incredible week with homecoming, tons of student participation, great pep rally, parade, and to top it off, being able to have our game at Liberty High School that in front of our school with a huge packed crowd on a beautiful night. So all in all, it was a great week with a disappointing loss. We're hoping to rebound this week as we play Park Hill South. I'll go ahead and open it up for some questions.
How's the relationship between youth football and high school football?
Well, our youth football programs, they feed right into what we do at Liberty High School. Not always the same in terms of scheme or the exact same plays, but the basic fundamentals of youth football in our area do help us as we develop our players. So we have the North Suburban League, which is in the Northland here, that we have some kids play for, and then also Pop Warner that kids play for in Liberty. And both of those combined help us get kids that have been experienced to football, so it's not a new thing they have once they come in as 9th graders.
How do you guys think you'll do on Friday?
Well, we're excited to play Friday. We're playing Park Hill South. They're a team a lot like us that have had some really close games against good teams. And if you look at some of our comparative scores, they're pretty close. We know we're going to have to go over there and play better than what we have to get a win. And we're excited to do that. They're a team with some really good receivers, and they throw the ball really well. They have a very multiple offense and have done a good job in stopping the run against some teams. They had tied with Park Hill 3-3 at halftime. And you can see that Park Hill, they played Lee Summit West very close earlier this year, and we're ahead of Raytown South 14-0 at halftime. So they're a team that have played some really good teams because we know we're going to have to play well to win.
Is anybody planning to play college ball?
Well, I think we will have some kids that play college ball. Right now we have 6 senior starters, kids that play, and usually our starters have the opportunity to play college ball at some level. I know a couple of our guys have already received some offers for baseball as well within those seniors, and they may choose to go that route. But I do think we'll have some college athletes come out of our class this year, and all 6 of those guys that start would have a good chance if they choose to pursue that. Some of them have been taking some like college visits and things like that on Saturdays, seeing schools and games and experiencing that. That's one of the fun things that goes along with football.
How's Robbie doing?
Well, Robert Rowley. Yeah, okay. Robert Rowley, he's doing well. He's one of the leading rushers in the city. I think he's averaging about 170 yards per game running the football. He's also a good receiving threat. And he's also, if not one of our hardest workers in in our program, which is always a good thing when you have your leader being a great player being a leader as well. And we're proud of him for that. We have a lot of great leaders in our teams, kids that play hard, and his name shows up in the scoreboard a lot because of what he does. But he's very humble and plays very well within that role. So he's had a great year. He played a little as a freshman. That helped him get into that part. We've had we think this week, as we go into this game, we'll start our 11th sophomore this year, which is a very high number. They're gaining some good experience, not all at one time, but we've had 11 sophomores start a game this year. And all those kids have done well, as long as there are others. We had 7 sophomores that played last year. Most of them are starting as juniors. And we feel that experience is key as they get going.
How's JV doing?
Well, our JV's on a good streak right now. They have won 3 games in a row, and this week we beat St. Joe Central's JV 30-0. I was really proud of our kids to go up there, and I thought watching that film, it was the best game they've played as a JV in terms of executing both our offense and our defense, making plays, rallying to the ball, and they have continued to get better each week, and so we're really proud of how they've done. We feel our sophomore team played a really competitive game last year. Came up short, but played a really competitive game last week. And we're proud of them as well. Then our freshmen continue. They lost a tough game to Liberty North last week, 36-34. And it was one of those games that was right down in the final play. I know they'll rebound well. They play at St. Joe Central today. All right. I'd like to thank you all for coming to our press conference today, and we'll see you next week.